Right, hi guys, and welcome back to the Moaning Yorkshireman, and welcome to the answers to the Q&A video. So on Wednesday, I got you all to ask me some questions, what you'd like to know about me, and just general shit really. And you've all come back really good responses. I've had 20 comments with various questions on them, so we'll start them off. There's a few people that have just put thank yous and stuff like that in, so we'll read those out first that haven't got any questions, and then we'll get straight on to the questions. So Mighty Kane is the first one, a recent subscriber to my channel, trying to grow his streaming stuff and everything, and he just put great work. So thank you very much, and no, he's not a robot asking if I want to be friends. Plenty of them about though, isn't there? Next up, we've got a subscriber from years ago, and I think he even joined me on my journey with Oversteer as well, called Speck Minus, and he's just put, no question here, just thought I'd say, well done on reaching 300 subscribers. Well, thank you very much, mate, and thanks for sticking with me all this time, especially during my off periods and stuff where I wasn't uploading. Yeah, it's been really appreciated, so thanks very much. Thrilled with that. Cheers for commenting. Then, of course, we've got the usual suspect, F1 Games PlayStation, Mr. Dave, and he's just put, I love you. I love you too, Dave. Thanks very much, buddy, and I'll answer your question in a second. And last but not least is a guy called Greg Brown, which followed me on my journey on Oversteer. That's when he got to know me, and came over to my channel back when I started this one up again. And he's put a really lovely message, so thanks very much, Greg. I appreciate you leaving the time to comment. And he's put, to be honest, reaction is good because you take the time to respond to comments and it comes across that you appreciate the views, whether you are loving some F1 or gagging on gherkins. Congrats on 300 subs. You may have 500 before you know it. Well, thanks very much, Greg. Yeah, this channel's all about interaction, as you all know. I always love having a chat in the comments section, and it's nice to know that people appreciate it. So thanks very much, Greg. Yeah, whether I am loving some F1 or gagging on a gherkin, I just wish someone would gag on my gherkin every now and then. Fucking hell. What am I, 12? Fuck's sake, get yourself together, Josh. Okay, so now it's on to the question. So the first question comes from Anthony, a regular subscriber of mine, followed me on Oversteer, came back to this channel as well, so massively appreciated, thank you very much. And he asks, what's the worst Hamilton fan you've ever had to deal with? Well, if we're going on terms of YouTube, then it has to be the one that was at the, was it the Malaysian Grand Prix on my series, which was the Cruel Wall. I'll find the comment and I'll put it on if he's never deleted it. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen now. I think he called me the C word 7 times in one sentence, which I did commend him for. I said, brilliant effort, you know, well done on that. And yeah, then I answered with a very nice, polite message back, and it riled him even more. So yeah, he was special. He was special. If we're going in terms of maybe other social media and stuff, then Twitter, of course, we know is rife with deluded Hamilton fans, such as that Sabine that's in Germany, that she's fucking mental. And who's that other one? That Amy Wyatt, something like that. And she's a nutcase as well. So yeah, I've had run-ins with them over the past, and I've not even like tagged them in it. I've not even tried to cause anything. I've just put something that might make Hamilton sound slightly bad, and they're just fucking on top of you. Next up is Lee. Thanks very much for commenting, Lee. He's left 5 questions. Bloody hell, 5 things I love and hate. Well, gonna get through these, aren't we? Thanks very much, Lee, though, for all the support. He's in my, you know, the Squad of Mates chat that we've all got together. Regular commenter, regular viewer of the channel, loves my stuff. And yeah, fantastic bloke. So yeah, thanks very much for the questions, Lee, and we'll kick off with question 1, which is, which F1 driver do you hate the most out of the 5 you mentioned in the previous video? Without a doubt, Lance Stroll. Doesn't deserve to be in F1. Yeah, just, he's been a total joke throughout his junior career and everything. It's just been a total joke. He had 1 lucky podium at Baku and everyone thinks, my God, he's Jesus. Get in the fucking bin. The second question he asked, speaking of Jesus, I forgot he'd asked this one. Do you think Lewis Hamilton is more blessed than Jesus? I personally don't think Lewis Hamilton is more blessed than Jesus, but does Lewis Hamilton think he's more blessed than Jesus? Yes, he fucking does. Third question, best night out you've ever had? Probably my birthday, 2018, so it's going to be coming up a couple of years ago now. Yeah, it was fantastic. We had like literally most of the work guys out. It was an amazing night. It was a weekend as well, so that made it a bit special, so it was a bit more atmosphere to it. and we went to a really shady pub, but we always go there because it's cheap drinks. And the DJ ended up giving me a bottle of tequila, and I could either drink it all in one go or I had to pay for it if I stopped. So I did drink the whole bottle in one go, then threw up afterwards. So the most embarrassing moment I've had on a night out, Lee, for your fourth question, is when I ran out of money. It was for one of my friends leaving do at work. He left in August last year, so again coming up to a year ago. And I'd actually spent that much money on drinks, I didn't have enough money for a taxi home, but I was too ashamed to tell anyone or ask anyone, can I borrow 20 quid for a taxi home? And I ended up stopping night with one of the lads that I work with because he'd got a hotel for the night, so I ended up stopping with him. So yeah, that was the most embarrassing. I'd spent all my money. And the fifth and final question from Lee, thanks for the questions again, Lee, is what's your ultimate goal in YouTube? Yeah, does it sound wrong of me to say I've not got one? I don't know. I don't know if people like that or not, but I've not really got one, to be honest with you. Like, everyone wants to get rich and famous. Everyone's like, oh God, let's get 1,000 subs and then I can get some merch out and whatever shit. I don't know. I've not got one because I'm not arsed. I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing. 300 subscribers is brilliant. I'm really happy with that. And considering it's a chilled channel, that I'm not begging you for subs, I'm not being needy for likes, I'm not, the only thing I ever ask for is that you interact. You know, if you enjoy the video, let me know you enjoy the video, or if I have an opinions video, let me know your opinions. It's not to slag you off, it's just because I generally want to chat, and that's how I think, it's a great way to communicate with people, especially during lockdown. So, to be honest, I've not got any future goals. If we get some more subscribers, brilliant. If we get more people watching, fantastic. But the main thing is the interaction. So if the interaction stays as it is now or gets better, brilliant. Absolutely love it. So yeah, that's my goals really, Lee. Just a bit more interaction, or the interaction stays the same. I'd be happy either way, to be honest. But thanks very much for your comments, Lee. Next up is a cracking question from Matthew. Again, I think he's a recent subscriber to my channel. He's probably watched some videos of mine. But he came from F1 Games PlayStation, Mr. Dave, watching his live streams. And I was in the chats with him at the same time. Question you probably all won't understand, so if you don't understand the question, go and watch Dave's live stream on a Monday night where he does the Elite Racing League series, and you'll understand it there. But he asks this question: on a scale of being a Lance Stroll fan to Dave, F1 Games PlayStation, not saving his ERS to over 20%, how likely is the Cruel Wall series to return? Well, my answer to that, Matthew, is how likely is it that Dave will get with Carmen Jorda? I answer the question with another question, but there you go. If Dave gets with Carmen Jorda, then the Cruel Wall series will return. So, Matthew, you get in touch with Carmen, see if you can hook up a date, and Dave, don't fuck it up if a date does happen. How's that sound? But on a serious note, though, and a lot of people have been asking about the Cruel Wall series, and I've been answering them individually, and I've not really explained fully what's been happening. The Cruel Wall series won't be returning, guys. I've just got to be honest with you. If you want to unsub to me now, well, then fine. But I always felt like I really enjoyed 2017 on this channel, doing it. 2018 on Oversteer was fantastic. Some of the videos got like 30,000 plus views on it. And I really enjoyed doing it as a series. But, when you get that feeling of sometimes it's better to end things on a high. Especially when I didn't do last year because I was busy with work and I wasn't doing this channel. I wasn't with Oversteer. Leaving it a year out and then it coming back, sometimes things don't live up to the hype after a break, and I'd rather end the series on a high than it fade away, not get the views, not get the support that it had before, and it be a forgotten series. So I'm going to end it, 2018 will be the last one, but again, thank you so much for the support with that. It was the series that got this channel growing, it got me onto Oversteer, and I'm forever thankful for that, and I'm forever thankful for all you guys' support with the Cruel Wall series. But it won't be returning, but hopefully if the F1 season kicks off this year, I'm sort of coming up with an idea. A couple of people know what it is already, but I'm coming into a way to have a rant about Formula 1 again, but it won't be in front of a board, and it won't be personally scoring them as such. It'll just go on the results sort of thing. But that's to come if the season kicks off anyway. But thanks for the comment, Matthew. Brilliant question. Now, next up is F1 Games PlayStation, Mr. Dave, and he asks, do you think F1 will ever be the same again, or has this pandemic done enormous damage to the sport it may never recover from? Well, that's a good question, Dave. In terms of, has this pandemic done damage to the sport? I think the sport was destroying itself anyway with the money. Yes, there does need to be a budget cap. Will this series, will the championship recover from the pandemic? Yeah, of course it will, because you've always going to have some big fucking billionaire that's going to bail it out and keep it going. But in terms of capping the costs, definitely it's what needs to happen in future, just to make it more competitive and to make it fairer. You look at how many teams are wanting to join Formula E, and look how many manufacturers are already in that championship. There's a privateer team from like Thailand or something wanting to join for 2022 in Formula E. That's an independent team completely, because they can afford it. And I think it shows how Formula One's got a bit too up its own arse. The prize money's all over the place and really not legal in some respects. Ferrari getting 80 million quid just for being Ferrari is a bit of bullshit, really. So I think the entire championship needs a restructure. It doesn't just need new regulations to make the cars closer. It needs to be taken, completely out of context. Someone needs to have a zoom out and view the whole thing and go, right, what's fucked up here? And I think they need to change a lot of things, really. Next up is Josh K. Thanks very much for the comment, Josh. A regular viewer of the channel again, a regular supporter of the channel before the oversteer, during oversteer, and back to my channel again. So thanks very much, Josh. And he's asked 3 questions. His first question is, how was your experience of learning to drive? Brilliant, actually. I had a really good experience learning to drive. My instructor was called Lee, and he was absolutely fantastic. He was an AA instructor. And yeah, he got me through my test first time. He got my cousins through their test first time. He got my mate through his test first time. And a couple of other people as well that we recommended him to. A fantastic bloke, stood no shit, so if you made a mistake, he was hard on you, he was tough on you, but he made you learn and he made sure you never made that mistake again. So a really good driving instructor. Passed my test first time. I think it took me 8 months to pass my test and about 4 block bookings. But yeah, brilliant. Set me up for life. So thanks very much, Lee. And Josh, brilliant question that, actually. I was really impressed when I saw that one. He asked another one. What was your first Formula One memory? Now, I've been thinking about this, and I can't remember if it was 2001 or 2002. You might be, I didn't look it up because it was supposed to be my first memory, but I'm sure it was 2002. But I don't think Arrows got this far in the 2002 championship, which if they didn't, it'd be 2001. But for some reason, I just remember Enrique Bernoldi trying to qualify in Arrows at Hockenheim. And I remember him coming around the stadium section and being really shit and dog shit slow. It was like 7 seconds off the pace or something by the time he crossed the line. And I don't know why that's my earliest memory, it just is. But I can't remember if it's 01 or 02. 02 rings a bell because the car was more orange with the really, the really big black lines that the 2002 car had. But I can't remember if they got that far, because I know they left mid-season that year. So if they didn't, it would have been 01. But yeah, it's an orange Arrows just pottering around at Hockenheim trying to qualify for the race. I don't know why. That's my earliest memory, but that's the first thing I remember. So yeah, great question again. And then his last question is, what's the funniest story you can think of from a night out? Well, a funny story that I can keep on this channel so it doesn't get demonetised and taken down. Demonetised. I don't see money. But yeah, so the channels will get taken down. It would have to be when I spent £201.76 on a leaving do. Not the one where I had to stay at a hotel. This was another one. I spent 200 quid on a night out. And it was only within the space of like 6-7 hours. It was a leaving do for someone that was going on to a travel agent. Lovely woman, brilliant person, missed within the airport, definitely. But yeah, she was out. She was only meant to be out for a few because she got MOT next day for car. She didn't make the MOT. And there's just a video of me in the background to these two people singing karaoke. So the focus wasn't on me, and I got 2 trays of shots. And I mean, these trays were full of these shots. I've got no idea what they were. I was just offering them round to everyone. They weren't even in our party, weren't even with our gang, just offering them round, but shot. So yeah, so I couldn't remember where I spent 200 quid, but when I saw a transaction for £80 in flares, I thought, what the fuck's that? It was shots, weren't it? Next question comes from Terry. It's a two-parter. Thanks very much for your question, Terry. Regular viewer of the channel again. Supported me on Oversteer and then came back to this shower of shite again. So yeah, why everyone's bothered I don't know. But yeah, thanks very much. So Terry asks, if you had the choice to spend a race weekend with any F1 team, who would it be? And which circuit would you want to be racing at? So I've had a big thought about this one because there's not really, I don't have a massive support for the driver, you know, for the teams on the grid anymore, because my team was Force India, as everyone knows. But I'd probably pick Alpha. I'd pick Alfa Romeo because he's got Kimi, absolute legend of a guy. I'm sure everyone admits to that. So yeah, definitely Alfa Romeo. And which circuit would I want to be racing with them at? I'd probably say Monza. Not just because it's the Alfa's own race or Giovinazzi's own race, although that would be a brilliant bonus, obviously. But the Tifosi are just mental, aren't they? I would definitely love to be in the bottom of that mosh pit celebrations at the bottom of the podium as the drivers are spraying the champagne and the Ferrari flags everywhere, flares going off and air horns. I'd absolutely love that. So yeah, I'd love to be in the team for the weekend, and then when Sunday comes I want to be in the mosh pit with everyone else celebrating the podium. Yeah, I just think it'd be a brilliant atmosphere, Italy. Be great. Next up, we've got Jay Cartwright from the In-Betweeners. Thanks very much for your comment, Jay. Nice to know that my channel at 300 subscribers is getting some brilliant support from some celebrities now. So thanks very much for your question. He asks, which F1 car, past and present, do you think has the best livery? Now, I've had a big thought about this, and it's going to be controversial, but it's the 2017 Force India. The BWT one, the one where it had the bubbles on the side. I absolutely adored that car when it came out. I was instantly in love with it. Yeah, was amazing. Fantastic livery. I know a lot of people hated it because they went pink, because at the start of that season they were originally the usual black, gold, black, orange, silver, little bit of green in it, and then obviously they got the sponsorship late. But yeah, it'd have to be that. If we're going back to past, then I'd probably say 2001 Jordan with the Benson edges on the side and the shark at the front. I love that car. So yeah, old and new. Funny enough, the same factory really, wasn't it? But yeah, 2001 Jordan for past and 2017 Force India for present. Next up, we've got Robbie T. Thanks very much for your questions, Robbie. Again, an avid follower of the channel from early days, on to Oversteer and back to this one again. So thanks very much for the support over the last few years, Robbie. And thanks very much for the questions. He's asked 4. So the first question is, who in your opinion is your favourite and least favourite racing driver? Can be from Formula 1 or any form of motorsport. Well, my favourite racing driver of all time is going to be John Cleland. Absolutely loved him. I was too young to really watch him and support him. He retired back in '99 from the British Touring Cars. Went and did a little bit here and there at Bathurst and stuff after that, but not much. But yeah, John Cleland, I've watched the reviews back of the touring cars, and he was a fantastic character, a mad Scotsman, and yeah, I just loved him. I just really enjoy watching all he does. I follow him on Twitter. He's really funny on that, and I just think he's a genuine nice, down to earth bloke as well. So yeah, definitely John Cleland for my favourite all time driver. As for least favourite, that's difficult. If I'm going for everything, I mean, if I went for an F1, it'd have to be Lance Stroll, obviously. But if I'm thinking of all time, it'd probably have to be Nikita Mazepin or someone like that, because he was a knob. He was a twat. I think, what's he in these days? Is he in F2 or F3? I've got no fucking idea. I hope he doesn't get to F1 anyway. I'll probably get shot by Russians for saying this. But yeah, he was a prick. He punched. He had a punch up with Callum in an F3 race after qualifying, and he was just a knobhead. Just an absolute knobhead. He got banned for a race for doing it, but you don't learn, do you? He just whafts his checkbook about. So, yeah, probably Nikita Mazepin. I think he was a right knob. The second question he asks is, what is your favourite and least favourite F1 video game you have played? Well, the favourite for me, without a doubt, has to be F1 Championship Edition. Absolutely loved that game. Still play it. My new PS3 arrived yesterday. It was the first game that went back in. I've done the first 4 rounds back at Toro Rosso. I got a seat with Toro Rosso on hard difficulty, so thrilled with that. And I've scored 3 points so far after the first 5 races, so really chuffed with that. Yeah, F1 Championship Edition is amazing. I'm going to do a little special mention though to F1 2005, because that was the first F1 game I ever bought for PlayStation 2. So yeah, well worth a shout out to F1 05, because that made me fall in love with the games. But yeah, F1 Championship Edition for definite. As for the least favourite, it'll probably have to be F1 2015, just because they paid You know, they charge people £50 or £40 or whatever it were back in the day for a game that wasn't even half ready, half done, half finished, half baked was it, if anything, and it was just fucking dreadful. It was a shite game. Terrible it was. Do you consider doing F1 career mode again in the future, just like you did in 2017 with Force India? No, I wouldn't, to be honest. I'll probably, you know, if someone asked me to do a co-op again, I might do co-op just to make it more fun. But even then, look at me and David when we did it with Haas. We stopped because it was just fucking shit, that game. It got the chop, didn't it? But yeah, I probably wouldn't do a career mode again. I wouldn't do a career mode, but maybe a co-op's not out of the question, but finding time to record it. I mean, during lockdown for me, yeah, I've got loads of time, but people that I know are still working and stuff, so to squeeze it in would be a bit difficult, but if someone wanted to do it, yeah, I'd probably do it. And last question, he says, are you interested in the wonderful world of anime? Anime. I think it's anime. It's the Japanese cartoons, is it, and stuff. To be honest, Robbie, I've not really heard of it. I've not really heard much about it. I know it is, I think it is the Japanese cartoons and Japanese, like, cartoon videos and stuff, but no, I've not heard of it. Well, I have heard of it, but I've not really taken any interest in it, to be honest, Robbie. I think I've got enough hobbies with fucking music, games, F1, touring cars, all sorts, cars in general. But yeah, I might have to check it out at some point, you never know. But thanks for your questions, Robbie. Next up, it's Adam Joe. Mr. Joe, how you doing, mate? This is one of obviously my friends from school from years ago. Met in reception and been friends ever since. So he's asked a couple of questions, and he's asked, which has been your best holiday, whether with me or with family? Well, I'll answer those two together. So I won't, you know, so the best holiday that I think we've been on, me and you, Joe, has to be Prague. I loved Corfu, and so much so we're hopefully going back this year. I really loved Corfu. Sadari was amazing. But I'm picking Prague just because it was, I'd left motorsport, you know, I'd had 6 years, 5-6 years of shit. Well, not really, but, you know, it was stressful times. I didn't have time to let my hair down much. And we went to Prague, and I just had a total blowout. I ran out of money after 3 days. You know how Prague and Czech Republic is cheap in general. I took about 300 quid with me, and I'd got it gone after 3 days. Not only that, we got to see Tom Chaplin impromptuly at a gig that was at the end of our roads. That made it even more special. And we went out for Joe's birthday that time as well. It was a birthday celebration. He met up with some of his old uni mates when he was out there in Prague University. And yeah, we had a binge drinking day. I think we started at 3 in the afternoon and finished at 2 in the morning, something like that. Joe was off his tits. I had to carry him home practically and get him a taxi. Yeah, just fond memories of that, Joe. So yeah, definitely Prague 2017 for me, but Corfu was fantastic anyway. And then in terms of with the family, it'll probably have to be something like when we've made a weekend of going to a concert. So I really enjoyed like Wales, we went to go see Stereophonics, but because we were there for the weekend, we got to see places we don't really see much. So yeah, fantastic, those kind of events, you know, you make a weekend of it and you get to see a concert as well. But yeah, thanks for your question, Joe. And he also asks, which has been your favourite small team, past or present? Without a doubt, Force India. And I'm not including Racing Point in that. That's a new team completely now, and I hate it. Next up, we have JWF1, a fantastic, once again, supporter of the channel. Views a lot of my stuff. Comments a lot in the squad of mates as well. So thanks very much for your question. And he asks, how many years was you involved in motorsport, and what team was you working for? Well, I was involved in motorsport from 2011. And I finished in November 2016, so realistically about 5 years. And the team I was working for, I worked for a couple. I did start off life with HHC Motorsport, who did a lot back in the day in the support championships to British touring cars. So they would tour in the UK. They did Ginetta Juniors, Ginetta G50s, or G55s, whatever you call it. Ginetta Super Cup, is it? And then latterly, after my time there, they went into the Palmer's F4 Championship and stuff like that. But yeah, I worked there for 6 weeks. Unfortunately, got made redundant because they had a guy that was supposed to be coming in to train me, as I was an apprentice there. But that guy then didn't accept the job role, and obviously then as a return, no one could train me. So I got let off from there, which was gutting. I had a couple of months out, and then I did a couple of one-off weekends with a team called Scuderia Vittoria. who are no longer running anymore, sadly. Great bloke though. Piers Maserati was the owner of the team along with Tom Ferrier and Danny Buxton. And they're all fab guys, all absolutely fantastic guys. Couldn't do enough for me really. I did the Brick Car 24 Hour with them back in 2011. And then I went and did Rockingham with the British GTs. Did that weekend with them again. And they had us the bigger Ginetta cars in the support championship to the British GT, so I worked on that. But yeah, fantastic people, amazing team, amazing, really friendly vibe as well you got with them. But shame I only ever did 2 weekends with them really, but opportunities came to work with Mark Burdett Motorsport from 2012 onwards, so I took that up and then left at the end of 2016. So yeah, we had a couple of podiums and that was good. Enjoyed my time there travelling Europe. Got to see things that most people didn't. You know, when I look back at it in that respect, you realise how lucky you are in some occasions. You know, obviously working with the likes of Callum Ilott, George Russell, Lando Norris during testing, Raoul Owens, Jake Hughes we raced alongside. You know, they were our drivers that a couple of years. Yeah, we had some fantastic people, really lovely people. You know, the ones that were stuck up their own arse, and you knew the ones that were genuinely humble to, you know, be working. You know, a lot of people, a lot of really good people in motorsport, and that's what I miss about it. The teamwork. You know, this is, you know, you don't really understand. Okay, you're all there to do one thing, which is compete against each other and win. But if you had a shit fight and your car had ripped 4 corners off, I remember Hungary 2016. We'd had a crash in practice, a big crash in practice. We'd pretty much ripped the car in half, but we'd only got 4 hours for qualifying. And if you couldn't get your car out for qualifying, you didn't even need to set a lap, you just needed to leave the pit lane. But if you couldn't do that, then you weren't eligible to race. So you couldn't race in the 3 races that weekend. And we got 4 hours to build this car that was pretty much the all 4 corners were off it, the gearbox was fucked. It was a right smelly mess. So everyone, all the other teams worked on their cars, got theirs done, and we were only a small team, so there's only a couple of people working on our car trying to get it ready. We've got the drivers' dads on it, just bolting out together, or I put that on, you just tighten it up when you get, yeah, that's fine, mate. And yeah, and then all the other teams have finished off and they came and helped us so we could actually get out, and we ended up qualifying 8th with that car. I mean, we'd not fucking patched it, so it was tracking all over the place, the steering was out on it, but yeah, phenomenal effort, and it's them kind of moments that you miss. For the most part, it's an absolute shit show, and you're working all night, and you don't get any food, or if you do get food, it's just takeaway fucking pizzas. Yeah, so the most part you think it's shit, but then you look back and you appreciate what you've actually done, and you think, God, I was lucky. So, you know, yin and yang with it, really. But yeah, that was the team I worked for mostly. Mark Burdett Motorsport from 2012 to 2016. Next one, Warwick asks, what do you think of Vettel leaving Ferrari? Well, I've got to be honest, mate, I'm not really surprised with it at all, to be honest. Leclerc showed him up. Italy was the turning point, definitely, when Vettel was spinning and causing absolute chaos and carnage. Leclerc went out and won it at Ferrari's home ground. I think that was a turning point. Okay, yeah, he did go winning Singapore, fair enough, but I think from then we knew the nail was in the coffin with Vettel's career at Ferrari. I was surprised he was going to do this year, to be honest. I'd have thought we'd have seen some announcement over the period of 2019 into 2020 that it was leaving. But, you know, he's going to be leaving at the end of this season regardless whether we turn a wheel or not. So, you know, I do wish him all the best, I really do. I did like Vettel. I did hate him later on in later life, especially when Ferrari were putting all their eggs in one basket with him and he just kept not delivering, spinning and bottle jobbing it to death. But yeah, I will be sad to see him go in some respects. You know, a 4-time world champion, you've got to give him credit for that. Will he go to another team? I can't see him arriving at a midfield team at all, to be honest. I think it will be announced in his retirement. And good luck to him. You know, he's got kids, he's got a family. Settle down, for fuck's sake. You've got more money than you're ever going to need to spend in your life. You've earned it, you've deserved it. Like I say, you've got a kids and family to worry about now. So retire, enjoy your time with them, and, you know, make them the stars of the future. But yeah, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, it is a little bit gutting, isn't it, when you look back and reflect on what he's achieved and what he's done for the sport. And to finish off, we've got a few questions from Scott. Again, a brilliant guy, Scott. Supported me a long, long time ago, back in the infancy of this channel. And yeah, thanks very much for your feedback. And thanks very much for your questions. So, He asks a few questions. Who's your motorsport hero? Well, I'm going to say John Cleland, definitely, like I previously mentioned. What is your favourite video and series you've uploaded to this channel? Well, series has got to be the Cruel War series. It was definitely a stepping stone for this channel and getting me onto Oversteer, so has to be series. As for favourite video, I really am doing the Sunday lockdowns, the Sunday specials with my mum and Sandra. If you've not seen them, go watch them. They're just a bit of a laugh. I just make a tit of myself on most occasions, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I'm enjoying those, especially during lockdown. You know, it's just a bit of fun for everyone. So, get the lockdown look, the Sunday special videos I am enjoying doing at the moment. If I'm going to go for past stuff, I did enjoy doing the FIFA. They were never really well received on this channel, but for a game that cost £1 and the amount of fun I had on those was unreal. It was just great meeting, you know, playing with people on other than racing games. So, I did enjoy those. What is your favourite commentary team for Mini Motorsports? Well, teams as in duo, it would have to be Charlie Cox and John Watson from the late 90s touring car era. Murray Walker retired in 97 and they got those two in from 98 to 2000. Their commentary is brilliant. They was a great pairing. Fantastic duo. And then more specifically asked, who's your favourite commentator ever? Well, without a doubt, it's got to be Mr. Murray, hasn't it? Mr. Murray Walker, Sir Murray. An incredible bloke. You know, if I could ever meet him, I would like to meet Murray Walker. You know, I think he deserves a knighthood. I've said it all along, I've said it for years. But yeah, definitely deserves a knighthood. And what he's done it's just a legend. You just listen to his commentary. Hasn't got a fucking clue what he's talking about half the time. Or you think he doesn't, and that's what makes it clever. You know, it was really, it's just a great guy. Great guy, and yeah, I would love to meet up with him if I ever had the opportunity. That's one person I would love to meet. So that's everything, guys. Those are all the questions answered that I have been asked. A massive thank you. We've had a video that's nearly half an hour long, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, thank you so much for this 300 subscribers. Thank you for all your questions and comments and lovely congratulations messages. Means a lot to me. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and much love.